northeastern corner of Indiana, northern Ohio, and southeastern Michigan. Main threats are really damaging winds, so there could be some very large hail. As you can see there's a significant area there, which at least 2-inch plus hail in diameter. If we go to the wind, there's a 30% chance of that. The tornado threat, the highest chance is more in southern Michigan there. Have a little bit more spin there. And I'm starting to see some questions here. Oh, what happened to the chat? What happened? Hold on. I'm having really some trouble tonight. And really, tonight is really the night. It seems like I got cut off. Are you serious? On my phone, it shows I got cut off. Yeah, the internet in my home is bad right now. This is the worst time. And right now, I cannot get back to the stream. Great. But let's answer a couple of your guys' questions. Xbox helper, am I going to get hail tonight in Delaware? That is possible. Uh, for hail in Delaware, could be a little bit large as well. It's definitely a possibility. As you can see here for the hail risks, it's a 15% risk. It's not too high or anything like that. But sorry guys if I'm cutting in and out. It seems like that's a major issue for tonight's live stream because the internet is not good. We really need internet improvements. Also, I need a separate router for my computer because it's really strong and we have a lot of stuff running. And tonight is not the best night for it either. It's 10:40 Eastern time. Oh yeah, there is severe storms going on across Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, and Michigan as well. There's definitely been a lot of large hail reports. I've seen golf ball size hail reports coming in across southern Michigan as well. Um, so yeah, but really the main talk in this live stream is about tomorrow, and it's really concerning me a lot. So let's take a look into tomorrow. So as you can see here, okay, so I got my phone back. All right, sorry guys if I cut out. Um, but that might happen some more. Let's hope not. But as you can see here, they do have a large slight risk area across portions of Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, most of Tennessee, most of Kentucky, southern Indiana, central southern Illinois, and pretty much half of the state of Missouri. And there's also another slight risk area across Texas there, which there might be a chance for a couple supercells down there as well. Now, I'm going to let you guys know this is going to change a lot on their next update, and I just figured out that um, their next update is at 2 a.m. So Eastern time. In Central time, that is 1 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, here's the tornado risk. It's pretty low end. There's not a lot of well, there's not like a lot of wind shear because your low pressure system is pretty far to the north on this cold front here. It's the damaging winds and the hail. And there could be some very large hail as well. As you can see there, includes places like Springfield, St. Louis, Springfield, Missouri, and even for Jackson, Tennessee, Memphis, and Little Rock, and also for Waco and Austin, Texas there. Could be seeing some very large hail as well. So yeah, and I guarantee you that there is a possibility of a moderate risk tomorrow, and my placement for it for the moderate risk at this point, the possibility of a moderate risk would put this in red pen, would be areas right in here. Would have to watch for a moderate risk here because because these storms here could be packing a punch with damaging winds here. So this is the area I really want to keep an eye on here. And there's gonna be some other areas as well, like what it used to be. The focus of severe weather was actually going to be in these areas right in here, but not anymore. It's been shifted a little bit more to the northeast here for the focus here, and that's actually what happened on this system we currently have going on, the focus severe storms was really across Illinois, southern Indiana, into Kentucky. Not anymore. It's actually shifted northeast here and to include a lot more people as well. So, in a very similar scenario here by the model. So, it's very interesting to see that. But let's talk about these storms right here. And this is why you use the thumbnail. Zoom this in. We're going to zoom this out. And so this is the 0Z model run out from the herd model. Like I said, it overdoes things, but this is kind of realistic here by the models here because this is not the only model that shows a similar solution to this here. There's other models really getting on board with the solution here, so let's kind of back up here. So this SPC Roblox Finnegan Productions is really asking about Evansville, Illinois, which is over here in this area in here. So this is 22Z on Wednesday. So this is the evening hours here. You got possibly a couple of supercells out there that could produce a very large hail and damage wind gusts, but your cold front's not too far behind. Your cold front's actually right here, about to catch up with those storms. And it starts to increase in the amount of storms coverage really starts to increase. And as that cold front starts to get closer to those storms, it's going to be eventually going to be coming into a squall line here. And as you can see here for Evansville, Illinois, getting slammed by multiple thunderstorms. They could be severe, packing it a punch for some large, very large hail as well. And look at these storms right here. And that's a pretty good squall line of storm that can really pack a punch here for damaging winds. And how you can tell for damaging winds? Well, when the green line and the red lines, if they're far apart, that indicates a damaging winds. But we need to get into a little better placement. Really, you want this to be a little out ahead of the storms. And as you can see here, damaging winds is definitely there out of these storms out here. You don't want to put it inside the storms. You got to put them a little out ahead of it to see if there's a damage wind front, and there definitely is damage winds on a lot of these storms here. Let's go to the next hour here. You got a pretty well defined squall line here across western Kentucky. It has exited out Illinois to Indiana. Go to the next hour. Those storms are still going. This is about one about 1:30, about 1 o'clock in the morning here in Eastern Standard Time, Central Time. This is midnight. Nashville is over here. You still got some of these Boeing segments here, which indicates some pretty good damage winds there. And those sorts looks like they still could be going to the overnight hours and really lasting as far south as really Georgia and the Carolinas. So these storms could be lasting for a while here. But again, the area that I'm really focused on for a better chance of a moderate risk would be these areas right in here for a better chance for severe storms here, for a moderate risk here. And we'll see if the SPC will issue a moderate risk. It's definitely possible. Mainly it's going to be for the damage winds. Can we see a significant thing, which is, I believe, is 70 or 75 mile per hour plus wind gusts? That is possible as well with some of these storms in here. But we're not going to really, well, we might look into the supercell composite, of course. May as well look into it. It's not going to be that accurate here with this type of solution. Keep in mind the tornado threat is pretty low for this event. It's more of a squall line type event. You might be able to see a few spin up storms. And as you can see here, the supercell composite is pretty high across western Tennessee here. If we do get a forecast sounding out there, the thing is that there's no storms in the very high supercell composite area. And as you can see here, it's very favorable for thunderstorms and even favorable for tornadoes. But the thing is, there's no supercells out ahead of this storm, so there's not really a tornado threat there. And if I show you the significant tornado parameters, it's probably going to be pretty high, and it's not really going to be too realistic of a look. But let's move on to a different model. Let's take a look into the negative 3 km, the 0Z run. And it was an outlier on the 18Z run. It's not anymore. It's showing kind of a similar scenario, but more widespread here. And this kind of shows going through the entire state of Kentucky here. And yeah, bam. Look all these storms right here. Your squall line, which is far north, is Ohio, which is ridiculous here. Goes through the entire state of Kentucky, the entire state of Tennessee, all the way back into Louisiana. So it's a very long squall line of storms. And let's back this up another hour here. And look all these storms here. Definitely could pack a punch for some damaging wind gusts here. And as you can see, you're not much damage of wind gusts, but I'm sure there is going to be with some of these storms, especially for some of these little Boeing segments here. Very little Boeing segments there that can really pack a punch for some damage of winds there. Is really the areas to really focus on. And we'll take a look at the Super Silk composite here. And I think this has a realistic look as well for these storms here, but we're really going to see what's going to happen here. And I'm included the Freddy for the storm, so I'll definitely be videotaping somewhere in my house, and doing some video stuff for you guys to show you guys how it was like in those storms and stuff, if this happens. And as you can see here, the Super Silk composite values are pretty high. Your highest value is about 29 up in Arkansas. I think it's going to be kind of ridiculous here. Yeah. Look at the effective layer STP sign it. It's between a 10 and 11. A high chance of an EF4 plus if a tornado does develop in that area, which that's not really going to be the case with these storms because these are more linear and your tornado threat's really much lower. You really want cells that develop out ahead of line for the better chance for some supercells. And there's another area down here in Louisiana here, probably has a little better chance for a tornado threat, but the Cape though is really high. There's tons of instability. As you saw there's 4,209, that is extremely high for this time of year in April, and that's very sufficient for some severe thunderstorms. It really is. So these storms here can last for a long time for a lot of miles. And this is up in Ohio for another peak for the Super Silk composite. Not really as bad. But yeah, the rapid refresh model to cycle that far out, it has a little bit of weird stuff going on. The REP model only goes out 21 hours at 0Z. But if we do look at 21Z, it goes out more hours, up to 39 hours, which will take a look into the composite reflectivity. And the all ingredients is really there for pretty good severe storms. So, and we cannot zoom in with this website on the rapid refresh model. And as you can see here, showing that squall line of storms here. And again, the focus has really been moved into southern Indiana, southern Illinois, most of Kentucky. I mean, it's just not looking good for me, really. So, and like I said, there's definitely a chance for a moderate risk for this day here, just for the damage and wind. It can be a widespread event here. Now, we'll see if seems like the trend is really there for some storms, so I wouldn't imagine there would be a major change in the SPC's forecast. I do expect them to issue an enhanced risk tonight. That's definitely a yes, but a moderate risk is still possible. We may see that in their midday update tomorrow. So yeah. And do you guys have any more questions? We only have 4 people in the live stream currently. And again, I may as well change this. Why not? As you guys answer the questions in here. So this is how I really make very simple. Use your colors for what you have here. get the slight risk area out. I'm not planning on to issue a moderate risk just yet because the models can change some more. Do it like that. Get the marginal risk out so it can go out this way. We'll get to Texas area in just a moment.